Yeah! Woo! Heck yeah, baby!
Rivers gives to Sproles, angling left, has room, 15, 10, 5, jackpot! He got it! He got it! He got it!
Touchdown, Antonio Gates! 112 career touchdown catches. That's the most by an NFL tight end all time.
I would have hoped that people would have figured it out. I just like to play football.
This is Score More with Garrett Sisti.
Let's go!
Hey, what's up, Score Morons? Welcome to another episode of Score More. Welcome. 0-2. Not good, but vibes are high here on Score More. Welcome aboard another episode, week 2. Trying to make things a little bit more fun today, as I always do, and that's becoming already harder. About midway through the season, there's usually some issues trying to come up with content and keep it fresh, but man, Chargers are making us work hard this season. But I'm here, create new content, and we're going to have some fun today. So I got my spotlight. I got my NOTlight. I've got, hey, man, what are you doing? Coming up later. And we'll talk about the NFL. So I'm going to highlight a Charger player, highlight something I didn't like about the Charger game, go over the games in the NFL, and then we'll end it. We'll get out of here. But again, thanks for joining us. Make sure you subscribe. Follow us over at Score More Pod. All right, so first off, the spotlight. Let's start with the good stuff. Last time, let off with the bad stuff in my NOTlight. Kenneth Murray, who had a much better game this second game against the Titans. Let's start off good. Let's go with our spotlight. Today is the edge rusher, Thule. He is earning the spotlight this week because he had a hell of a game. Joey Bosa only got a handful of snaps, very effective in those handful of snaps, by the way. But Thule getting some extended minutes since Bosa was still nursing a hamstring injury, and boy, was he so much more fun on the rewatch. Again, the spotlight may not be the player of the game, but somebody who sticks out to me and is a lot more fun when I watch the rewatch. And during the rewatch, that was Thule. I thought it might be somebody else. I thought it might be Bosa. I thought it might be Keenan. But really, after watching this game again for a second and third time, Thule's the man. And he is part of my spotlight this week. So let's start off by showcasing some good reps in the run game. And then let's go over him as a pass rusher. The run game was going to be a focal point for this Titans offense. We knew that. They've got Derrick Henry. They got Tajay Spears. They drafted him high for a reason. And quite frankly, the passing offense isn't all that sharp. They did pretty good on Sunday, but you knew the focus was going to be on the run game. So let's look at Thule and how he did in the run game. So Thule on the edge here. He's on the top of your screen on the line. He's standing up. They've got an extra lineman in Josh Whyle, the rookie tight end. And we're going to see Thule take on the block from Whyle, shed it, stack, shed, and get the ball carrier. So attacks Whyle right in the chest, moves him aside, attacks Henry coming downhill. Nice run stop here by Thule. Now, the Titans get the first down, but that's a win on the field for Thule. If the defensive line for the Chargers can wall up in that B gap, Thule has a chance for a tackle for a loss here. Really sheds Whyle, basically throws him aside, is ready to make a tackle in the backfield. But of course, Derrick Henry running downhill right into that B gap. But great disengage at the point of attack by Thule here. Great tackle, minimal gain, really strong on the edge here. So next up, these plays here are even more impressive. So again, Thule on the left side. Both these plays are backside pursuits, which I got to add is really, really impressive, especially for a rookie in his first extended minutes in an NFL game. So Thule rushes from the opposite side of this run play. It's going right. Thule speeds past Andre Dillard, the left tackle, scrapes the line of scrimmage, and tackles Derrick Henry around the ankles. Great backside pursuit here. Getting even, running that hoop, flatten out, making that tackle, flexing the sideline. Again, one more time. Gets around Dillard, who's just trying to push him around the play because he's on the backside. just trying to make his rush a little wider. You see Thule starting to flatten out as Dillard's trying to push him. Gets there in the backfield. Henry falls forward for a couple yards, but Thule's got him right near the line of scrimmage. And the last one here, much like that one we just saw, again, some backside pursuit. Same rushing concept for the Titans, except they've got Trevon Wesco, the tight end, as an extra blocker here to take on Thule. Thule beats Wesco right across his face, beats him to the spot. He gets Henry down low. Well, Kenneth Murray here cleans it up. But the thing that I love on this play, we saw last play Thule flex on the sideline. This time, getting some love from the veteran. I love Khalil Mack recognizing the work from the young gun and what he was doing on this play, hyping him up. Thule's flexing again, and Khalil Mack's the first one to greet him. A little pat on the head, push in the back. He's hyped for the young kid. But man, just right in front of Wesco, who falls over, by the way. He's so fast he can't even get to him. He falls to the ground. Thule, speed off the edge, scrape the line of scrimmage, backside pursuit again. Beautiful run play from Thule. So let's move on to Thule as a pass rusher because he showed some things on Sunday. I'm going to start off with a sack here. You'd think that I would end with a play that resulted in a sack, but I got to say, there are some plays here that I was even more impressed with that he didn't get the sack on. But let's look at this one. Thule gets his first NFL sack on Ryan Tannehill. So Thule, left side. Thule was lined up on the left side most of the day on Sunday. He's going against Andre Dillard. Thule starts him off with a bull rush, gets right into his pads. It's actually Morgan Fox who's next to him. And Morgan Fox gets the speed rush right by Ryan Tannehill. Creates enough pressure that Ryan Tannehill has to step up in the pocket. Once he steps up, Thule's there to work back to the quarterback. He gets the sack. And then you see Khalil Mack, who's dapping him up in the play earlier, coming to clean up a little bit. And just a side note here, Tannehill was not in the grasp here. They blew this whistle way too fast. This should have absolutely been a fumble. Tennessee recovered, so they would have got the ball regardless, but this is a fumble. They blew that whistle way too fast. But he's just got one-on-one with Dillard, walks him back to the quarterback, works his way back. Khalil Mack tries to strip the football. They rule him down, but it's Thule with the sack. First NFL sack for the rookie. The next two plays I want to showcase here, we've got Thule standing up, but he's rushing inside, and he's right next to Joey Bosa. This line right here with Thule next to Bosa was deadly on Sunday, and the Chargers have something here, putting Thule next to Bosa. Khalil Mack still gaining the respect, earning some double teams, but Bosa and Thule, the way these two work together on Sunday, they got something here, and I know they're going to go back to this a lot this season. So, you see Thule standing up. You see Joey Bosa's got his hand on the ground. Thule uses a speed rush here. He's going to cut between the left guard and the left tackle, and he's going to occupy both blockers. Now, the move here that really was crafty by Thule, almost a veteran move here, is this high step in front of the left tackle. The way in which he threw his body between the guard and tackle, it forced the left tackle to make a decision on Thule, because Joey Bosa is stutter stepping and trailing behind Thule, who's supposed to occupy both blockers, and leave him free up on the quarterback, which it does. But if they were to rush at the same time, left tackle has got Bosa, left guard's got Thule, they got to win one-on-one. But because Thule is so fast off the line of scrimmage, and then Bosa gives that stutter step behind Thule, it's the perfect pacing to free up Bosa for the sack here. But also on this play, because Thule is supposed to take on two blockers, with that high step, he's basically jumping into the tackle, forcing him to make a play on him and open up Joey Bosa with a free lane to the quarterback. But with that high step, he splits both linemen, and they both met at the quarterback. So not only is Thule doing his job here by occupying two blockers and freeing up Joey Bosa, he wins the rep going straight up between them and almost gets the sack. But Joey Bosa's there, unblocked, right to the quarterback. You think it's Joey Bosa's sack live, but then on the replay, you probably could have given him a half a sack. You got Joey Bosa up high and Thule down low. Incredible awareness by Thule and just a veteran move on that high step, going up and forcing himself into the body of that left tackle to take on both blockers. And then with the double team, split it and still get to the quarterback. Amazing play here. All right, so I saved my favorite play from Thule as my last clip here. Here we go again with Thule and Bosa on the same side, but this time on the right side. And this time Thule's got his hand on the ground. So they're lined up against each other. Thule's rushing from the inside. And as you can see, Thule's speed is really a problem for these interior offensive linemen. They certainly were on Sunday. There's a stunt up front if you're looking on the right side. You see Morgan Fox cross. You got Derwin and Kenneth Murray coming along. They're filling up the middle. But it's Thule and Bosa who have one-on-ones over on the right side. Bosa wins on the outside. Great move by Bosa. Just kind of waited it out and gets the sack. But look at Thule with the long arm of the law here. One arm on the guard pushes him to the ground. He long arms the right guard on his ass in front of Ryan Tannehill, which forces him to roll right into the arms of Joey Bosa for the sack. Thule helps create chaos with his leverage with one arm. We're talking one arm. Grown-ass man strength on an NFL right guard. Puts him on his butt. Gets to the quarterback. Forces Tannehill to roll out. Joey Bosa, easy sack. So both of Joey Bosa's sacks here came on these last two plays, and both of them should get assists from Thule, because Thule set up both those sacks for Joey Bosa. Excellent job by Thule this Sunday. So Thule gets a spotlight from me this week. I thought I'd be focusing in on that sack that he had because it was a beautiful play. But when you go back and watch that game, man, some of those plays he made in the run game as a pass rusher, setting up those sacks for Joey Bosa, he was doing it all on Sunday. So Thule earned my spotlight. And let's talk about the NOTlight, because the NOTlight is not a player. It's one single play. With everybody that's on the field right now, just looking at personnel, Mike Williams is probably the last person I want to touch this ball if we're running a jet sweep. This is a play that should not be going to Mike Williams. When he gets this ball, him trying to turn the corners looks like him trying to run on ice.
Oh, I almost just kicked that rock. I'm not going to fall.
That's the kind of feeling I'm getting here as Mike Williams is trying to turn the corner. This is not his game, nor should the Chargers be running this play ever again. Jet sweep, keep it. To Mike Williams, never. You and I know who this should be going to. It's Darius Davis. Let him do it. If it's whoever's on the field right now, give it to Elijah Dotson. Anybody but Mike Williams here. And I know you want to mix up plays. It wasn't a negative play. They got a short gain out of it, but toss it. That's my NOTlight. The jet sweep to Mike Williams. I'm not going to focus on one player because the Chargers are 0-2. It's bad enough. Let's just focus on that play, which gave me a little giggle on the rewatch, and that is by far my favorite NOTlight from this game. All right, so let's get into the NFL. Games that happened around the league. We'll start off with Thursday night, Vikings and Eagles. The Eagles absolutely roll over the Vikings, who the Chargers, of course, play in week 3. But the highlight for me was Justin Jefferson here loses his chain and just tosses it to the sideline like it's nothing. Oh, it's something. It's probably more like both of our annual salaries combined. I sure hope he got that back. And if not, whoever got it, good luck to you. The Falcons somehow get to 2-0, which is a big surprise. And Bijan Robinson is somehow even better than advertised. And he was advertised as a generational talent. He looks incredible so far. Meanwhile, on the other side, Jordan Love here drunkenly stumbling into his own lineman. That's what a mistimed QB sneak snap looks like. It looks hilarious is what it looks like. The Raiders got steamrolled in Buffalo, and Josh McDaniels summed it up pretty bluntly here.
We never really got control of the line of scrimmage the entire day. And so when you don't have control of the line of scrimmage, it becomes a very one-dimensional type of game, and I don't know how many carries JJ ended up with, but it couldn't have been many, you know what I mean? Because we're always in second and long and, feeling, like you have to throw the ball a little bit too much. So, getting control against this team is probably one of the most important elements of playing them. And after the first drive, we really never had control of the line of scrimmage.
The Bengals fall to 0-2, much like the Chargers, and Bengal fans are so pissed they're attacking each other. The Seahawks ruined the Lions' home opener by beating them in overtime and grabbing some blue ski masks in the locker room after the game. The Giants came back from down 21 and went over the Arizona Cardinals, who were just trying to get Caleb Williams at this point, and that surprised everyone.
That's how you fight.
God. The Broncos fall to 0-2. Eric Bieniemy and the Commanders' offense are now 2-0. They beat the Broncos, who fall to 0-2 off a failed two-point conversion at the end of the game. Some think it might be pass interference. I'm fine with it. Then there's this one from Sunday Night Football where the Dolphins ran away from the Patriots, which is this week's, hey, man, what are you doing?
And Bill Belichick and the New England Patriots will fall to 0-2 for the first time since 2001. Remember what happened that year?
I don't know, Tarico. What happened in 2001? "9/11?" That's not really what he said, but I couldn't not let that edit pass. And here's what it was in context.
And Bill Belichick and the New England Patriots will fall to 0-2 for the first time since 2001. Remember what happened that year? They went to the Super Bowl and Brady took over.
And then there were a bunch of blowouts. The Cowboys ended up beating up on that Jets defense. The Colts went and beat the Texans. We had the 49ers win on the road against the LA Rams. The Buccaneers, who were 2-0 for some strange reason, ended up beating the Bears. Justin Fields looked shaky through 2 weeks. And then on Monday night, you had two games. The Saints, with Derek Carr, they go to 2-0. They end up beating the Carolina Panthers at home. And then the Browns, who were 1-0 going into this game, they end up losing to the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're both now 1-1. So let's look at these standings. First, let's start with the AFC West and the Chargers. So Raiders won last week. They fall this week. They're 1-1. Kansas City gets a win. They're 1-1. Chargers, of course, 0-2 there at the bottom. But Denver, they lost on that two-point conversion. They're 0-2. There's not much separating right now between first place and last place in the AFC West. Nobody's run away with it, and the Chargers are still in it. It is very early. And then, if you look at the AFC picture, it's a lot of the same. You've got the Ravens and Dolphins who are 2-0, but can you declare they're the best of the AFC right now? I don't think you can. There's a ton of 1-1 teams. And then at the bottom, maybe the biggest surprise, the Bengals and the Chargers at 0-2, but you probably could have bet the Texans were going to be 0-2. New England's kind of been in flux. That could have made sense if you would have told me that early in the year. And the Denver Broncos, they haven't been good with Russell Wilson, so that isn't a surprise either. So a lot of teams at 1-1, only two teams at 2-0. There's not much separating the Chargers from, again, being atop the AFC if they can get their stuff together. And it starts this week against Minnesota. So that's it for me today. Thank you so much for joining me on Score More. That's even bigger than last time, Eddie. I'm going to work through it. I don't care. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. Make sure to follow us over at Score More Pod. Join us every Tuesday. We'll be here putting together a fun little show for you here on Score More. I will see you next Tuesday, and let's just hope the Chargers score more on Sunday.